Hello and welcome to the Anime Dumpster Dive podcast, where we go in depth on an anime that's been considered trash by pretty much anybody. I'm your host and sexy nun, Jake H. I am joined by my co-host and upstart idol, DJ.
Yeah.
And my other co-host and gamer girl, Anthony.
Sexy gamer girl.
Sexy gamer girl.
Forgot that part.
Sorry. So, I was trying to think of a topic that we could talk about before we went into the anime, but really I just couldn't think of anything that was similar to this. Just this anime is definitely different. And the anime that we're going to be talking about this podcast is I Want You to Make a Disgusted Face While Showing Me Your Panties. Or,
classic.
Yeah, instant classic. Or Aya na Kaosari Nagara Pantsu Mitsu Moritai. And both these names are way too freaking long for the show. Saying this name is longer than an episode of the show.
That is a good point.
So Anthony, how about you tell us give us a brief synopsis of the show?
Well, it's a short. It's these episodes. I don't know. They're. You stand you're in front of a girl, and then there's this voice line that goes for a while, and then the panties come, and then it's over. So
these girls gotta learn to stop making deals.
Yeah.
They're like, if you give me a cracker, I'll do anything you want. And he's like, really? Here's the cracker. Show me your panties.
Show me your
They're
panties.
like, what?
How dare you think of something so sexual? I mean, you're a hot girl, so
Well, you did say you would do literally anything for me, so.
And then they all have him get on his knees. They all get a little bit of power dynamic out of it. Then they show him their panties, and then that's all.
It's not because there's a power dynamic.
Oh,
it's
fuck, we're not into the spoiler section yet. God damn it, Anthony.
I don't know how we'd spoil this show. I was actually going to say, be the first podcast where we don't have a spoiler section, because
we already spoiled it.
I mean, how can we spoil?
They show her panties. Is the spoiler.
I think it spoils it in the freaking poster for the show. Even the positions that they're in.
Yeah. There's no intro either.
There's no suspense for people who watch this podcast and then watch, the anime now.
This is I will argue that this is not even a show.
I will agree with you there, Anthony. I don't know if you could call it a show. It's like
a miniseries.
I mean, a miniseries?
I wouldn't even call it that. That's pretty generous.
I mean,
it's a series of videos.
I'm not even talking about the length itself. Like a good example is like a lot of internet shows when they first started out, like Red versus Blue, had 5-minute, 3-minute long episodes, but there was like a narrative. And even then, like a lot of episodic shows are just like, well, there's something happens. In this, it's just so awkward because you are the main character. It's the anime is shot in a way that animated. The anime is animated in a way that you are seeing through the protagonist's eyes, and even
POV style,
and even talking for them, because like the girls will have breaks in dialogue as if you're responding, and will talk as if you have responded.
Mm-hmm.
There's a show on Comedy Central back in the day called Secret Girlfriend.
Yeah, I was going to make that exact connection with Secret Girlfriend.
Same fucking thing. Except for less panty showing.
Less panty showing.
And there is a narrative, Jake. The narrative is this guy gets girls to show him their panties.
Is it the same guy?
And he does a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Do these girls all... Dude. Yeah, he's part of a big Idol fan club, too. Like, and also, he lives in a mansion.
I was going to say, if this is all the same guy, this is the most interesting fucking man in the world. Because
100%, yeah.
Like, he has so many backstories to him. Like, owns a mansion, fan club president. I guess this goes to church. wants to be.
I think that was his first time there.
Wants to be a priest, or a shrine priest. I'm trying to think the order. Got hospitalized, and then is in high school.
Yeah,
and then is in high school.
Because the Shrine Maiden beat the shit out of him. That's what happened.
That was my exact connection. I was like, these are the only two normal people. This is the only two connections. Shrine Maiden beat the fuck out of him, and now he's in the hospital.
Everywhere he goes, panties, panties, panties.
So, I also compared this show to another thing that Anthony and I saw with our buddy Tom, and that was Makoro no Danshi, and that is an anime about the same. It's like 4-minute long episodes, but it's of cute boys laying in bed talking to you, asking how your day was. So
I remember when we were going through this at the time, like this was
nice.
It was a really big deal. Like there were girls that were legit losing their minds because they thought that the creators were making the show specifically for them. It was a big fucking deal. As it turns, my phone's out. Is it frozen?
No, you're good. I was just looking at something.
Okay.
I was just posing with that hot sauce in my mouth.
It worked out. It worked out perfectly because both of you guys didn't move, and I went, "Oh fuck, my phone's frozen."
No. Yeah, like I remember hearing about that too. It was like it gained a lot of traction, and so I guess like it's different. There might be a genre of what this is actually called, but it was just really weird to be there in like the character's shoes.
I thought maybe I would enjoy being that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
I can see where they're coming from. So.
Yeah, I get it. So the girls, we're not going to go into spoilers into this because there really is no way to spoil it. Just like to confirm that we're doing that. The way the order of the girls go: the maid, the idol, the nun, the shrine maiden, the nurse, and then the gamer girl. So, who was your guys' favorite and least favorite of the girls?
They all made me uncomfortable.
They all made Anthony uncomfortable.
They all made me uncomfortable. But I'd say if I was forced to pick a favorite, I'd probably pick the gamer girl.
I liked the nun.
The nun? Any particular
The nun
reason?
also had a really funny quote, but I don't remember what it was now.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh.
It made you laugh? I like the nun, and the only one I disliked, not because of the girl, but just because I felt bad afterwards, was the Shrine Maiden one. And this is going to segue into my next question. So with the Shrine Maiden, she talks about, like, she's basically trying to get, like, a confession of love out of you for, like, since your childhood friends in this one. And then, like, this guy just asks to see her panties. And, like, she's kind of she's like, ugh, like, disgusted with it. That one made me feel bad. That one, like, made me feel like the way she was talking to the main character, a.k.a. me, in that situation made me feel bad. So Anthony said it made him feel uncomfortable, but did any of them, like, make you, like, did you feel shame at all while watching this? Or did you feel like, this is getting more in-depth than I think I ever wanted to talk to you guys about any of this stuff on the podcast, but did you feel, like, turned on, like, in a way, like that I feel like isn't audiences were?
Whoa, so, yeah, I would.
I never felt shameful. I did feel for the Shrine Maiden like you did. I was like, oh, poor thing. Never really got turned on. I thought they were hot. I thought the nun was the hottest. And I also remember what the quote was, to switch gear a little bit. It's my new pickup strategy. And it is, if you do not show me your panties, or the only thing that will keep me from committing malice and evil is you showing me your panties. Because she goes, show you my panties? No. She goes, what? The only thing that, if you don't see my panties, you're going to turn to a life of evil? Yep. Yeah. And I'm sorry, if I don't see him, I'm just going to turn to a life of malice and hatred and evil. It's just how it's going to happen. So either you give me salvation, or, I mean, I'll, be a horrible person for the rest of my life. One of the two.
It's up to you. Up to you.
It's up to you. It falls in your court here, none. I mean, it's my new pickup strategy.
I like it.
All right, if you don't go home with me tonight, I'm going to go rob somebody.
Yeah, let us know how that works out. Let us know how that works out. I'd say that to that kind of vein of thought, Jake, that this show does a kind of a weird thing where it kind of like, this is clearly a fetish that people are into, especially like being talked down to. Like that's a pretty common fetish, especially like the whole like femdom thing. Like that's also something that this really placates to. Personally, that's not for me.
I get into that. He gets on his knees every time. They kind of sometimes they lift their feet up and like maybe put him on his head a little bit. It's nice.
I don't ever want to be in that situation ever. So
maybe she's like lick my foot a little bit to him, and he's like, yeah, and he does it.
So you're saying that out of all the 6 of these scenarios, Anthony, you never want to be the guy in any of these scenarios?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
6 out of 6, baby.
6 out of 6? I was going to say, if I had to pick one for DJ, I guess, Anthony, think of that one. If you had to pick one for DJ, I think the puzzle one is the most DJ. Like
the puzzle?
The
one.
The nurse.
Mm.
I think that's the most DJ. Could you imagine if like a nurse came in and gave DJ a Rubik's Cube and she goes, yeah, the Rubik's Cubes are fun. And DJ goes, oh yeah, I do, like Rubik's Cubes are easy. And she goes, if you do a Rubik's Cube in under 5 minutes, I'll do a request for you. DJ would jump. DJ would leap at that. You'd be like, okay, fine.
I don't know
any of these deals. I'm just like this guy. I'd take advantage of all the deals I was getting in life too. If every girl I met was like, hey, if you do this thing, then I'll do anything you say. Eventually, you start taking advantage of it. Because apparently this happens a lot to this guy.
Yeah.
Every woman he meets is like, if you know what time it is, I'll do anything you want. It's like 7:45. Show me your panties. It's time to show me your panties.
I like. Was it? I wouldn't do Shrine Maiden one's weird for me. The maid one's weird too for me, just because that person works for you. Idol one. I guess the idol one is. I feel like would be accurate. I guess idol one, nun one, nurse, and gamer girl are the ones I would do. I wouldn't do Shrine Maiden or maid.
And all of them are like, none of them are like, no, and just leave. They're all like, well,
that's very true.
They're all like, well, I did say I would do anything, so here you go. Yeah. You feel like in a real situation, you'd be like, oh, anything, huh? And they're like, oh, no, I meant like I'll buy you a coffee or something. None of them would be like, well, I did say anything. Here's my pants.
Like, no, not that. Here's $5. Yeah, so, and then I guess another thing I want to talk about here, since we've brought up the length, only about 5 minutes for each show, is for me, I thought the quality of the anime was a little weird. I mean, weird in a good way. I thought everything was really well done and good for a 5-minute long show.
Didn't have much to do animate, so
didn't have much.
Yeah, that's very true.
But I mean, I thought that the way it was animated was really well done, and the episode has directed.
Yeah.
Well, I thought. I mean, granted, the only thing that happens is a girl showing you your panties, but I don't know. I thought 5 minutes leading up to that, when I first saw the length of it, was going to be too much. I thought it was going to be this is going to be the first minute of a porn, but for 5 minutes long.
My theory is that it was adapted from drawings.
Oh, I didn't even get into that. It absolutely is adapted from drawings.
Yeah, that's my theory.
Okay.
The reasoning is because I've seen other animes that are really short that are also adapted from drawings in a similar way.
The original, the ending scene is kind of the
Those
inspiration.
are the drawings, I think.
Yeah, those are the drawings.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the one with Ai-chan in it. I don't remember what it's called, but she's got, like, giant boobs. That one is adapted from drawings. So they're super short. But somebody took this guy's, like, daily drawings and animated them.
Oh. So I forgot to go into that. This show is made by Uwan Pictures, which has only done one other anime. Again, it's about 4-minute long, four episodes. And that one looks about, like, pretty boys during, like...
Hell yeah.
During some sort of Japanese, like, Edo period.
Right on. Yeah.
And it is... The source material for it is just drawings made by the artist 40 Hara. And so, yeah, that's what it's based off. But get this. The drawings got the anime adaptation, a manga one-shot, and a season 2 of the anime adaptation.
Here we go. There we go.
What?
I was wondering if it's going to be longer.
I'm wondering if it's going to be longer, too.
He spends like a whole episode convincing this girl to show him his favorite paintings.
Well, I read the manga, the one-shot of the manga, and it's the Gamer Girl one. It's basically the Gamer Girl one. But at the end of it, it kind of hints to the fact that she, like, because he tells her to also make the face, because she's embarrassed when she's doing it. And he goes, no, you have to, like, make, like, a face like you're disgusted with me. And she goes, oh, I don't even think like, what? And he's like, yeah, no, I want you to do this stuff. And so then she does it. And then it kind of hints at the end of the chapter that, like, maybe she actually developed a taste for it. So maybe that's what, like, the second season, if you could call it that, will be, like, 5 episodes of, like, this single girl.
I think this is a good time to just remind all the folks out there that you know, people are into some things, and you shouldn't shame them for those things. No kink shaming.
Anthony's getting a little weirded out about totally vanilla stuff right now.
Anthony's like,
I didn't say that.
A girl showing panties making a disgusted face. For shame. Meanwhile, DJ's sitting here going, well, it's not scat.
Yeah. On the scale from 1 to 10 on too much kinkiness, this is like a 2.
Is 1 like no kink at all?
Yeah, 1's no kink at all. This is like 2. It's like a little kinky. Maybe a 3. This is maybe 3. She's putting her foot in your mouth, maybe like a 4.
What's
but then
5?
like...
Because I'm assuming it's 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
So what's a 5?
A 5 would be, I don't know. Can't think of any examples off the top of my head. But 10 is like the crazy stuff.
What do you mean the crazy stuff?
Like, you know, dismemberment and stuff like that.
Oh, God.
That's not a kink. What?
Yeah, it is.
Anthony,
yeah, it is.
Anthony,
and
yes,
vor,
it is.
that's pretty crazy too.
That's okay.
Yeah.
What's the vor? What plus the death one?
I don't know. I don't want to
like snuff
talk
vor.
about this. Probably.
That's a kink, man. That's a kink. Snuff vor.
Terrible.
Where you get swallowed whole and then eaten. And people are into it.
People are fucking weird.
And then 11 furries. So
11 furries are off the scale.
They're off the scale. That's just weird. All right, I ain't dealing with all that shit. All right? I don't care what you say. That's just weird.
So anything else you guys wanna say about this?
Not really.
10 out of 10.
It's I wouldn't call it a show. I'd call it more of like an art adaptation.
Fucking fine.
An art display. I would not call it a find. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, DJ wants to jump right into the ratings. So, DJ, how about you break down the ratings for us?
Number 1, find. That's a good one. That's a good old guy. It's when you find that anime and you go, ooh, everybody was wrong about you, baby. And you watch it, and you watch it again, and you watch it a third time, maybe. Who knows? But it's the besties. Number 2, that's the best one. That's the second. It's where you find it in the recycling, and you go, ooh, who threw this in the recycling bin? Oh, this is pretty cool. And so it's pretty much where you find something in the trash, and then you're like, ooh, this does not deserve here. It should go in the recycling bin and go to its own trash location. Pretty much for animes that maybe are okay, maybe. And then there's the fucking trash. Those are for animes that belong in the depths of hell.
Weirdly enough, Anthony, I think that's the best he's ever done.
I don't want to give him an award, but
I mean, it's like what we're on 21 podcasts. I would say that is definitely the 19th best.
best. Yeah.
Hey. Because I've done 3 of them.
I think you've done 3.
My first one where I didn't remember what they were called, legitimately didn't remember, is the best one.
Where you eat it, and it's a delicious snack.
It's a tasty morsel. The best one. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it, though.
Okay, pretty accurate. So I'll go ahead and I want to go first. I want to go first on this one.
Please do.
Okay, so the way we've normally said it is like a find is like something that you should add to your plan to watch list, and a recycling bin is one that you should like watch if it is on your plan to watch list. For me, this one's kind of weird, and hear me out, because I think this anime is different enough. Is different enough and isn't bad per se. It does exactly what it aims to do. And anyone who has any idea that it's going to be more going into it is grasping at straws, is reaching way too far. So I'm putting this in the recycling bin, because I feel like if you want to watch this show, go and watch it. It does what it does well. But I'm also saying add it to your plan to watch list. Just watch the first episode. It's a recycling bin, but watch the first episode, because it is so different. It is not like anything I've seen before in this sense. Like, I guess I didn't watch like the full episode of that one with the boys talking to you and like in bed, but it's like the first anime I've seen do this, and it was just so weird. Like, it's so weird, and it's nice to say, it's weird to say, but like, I watched like, I want you to make a disgusted face while showing me your panties, because like, also, fuck, I can't believe I'm even saying watch it, but it is kind of like a testament to this guy's art, because straight up he drew girls making disgusted faces showing their underwear, and someone went, I want to animate that. Because the art is so good. So
I agree with Jake entirely. Everything he said is true.
Yeah, so
It's 5 minutes long. Give it a chance. Add it to your plan to watch list. You might find out something about yourself.
Yeah, you might like it. Like recycling bin, but put it on your plan to watch list.
Recycling bin plus.
Recycling bin plus. Extra recyclable.
Extra recyclable.
And so, DJ, you said you agree?
Yeah, it's like when it written on the bottle, it says recycle only in like big letters. It's like that.
It's that one. Okay.
Or like a really easy recycling bin, like something it's just a conveniently placed recycling bin, so you can just throw stuff in there. You're like, "Ooh, that was easy."
Oh, neat. Okay.
Anthony?
I disagree with you both.
Anthony's like, it's a find.
So, and the reason I don't discredit the art design and I don't discredit the style, the only thing that I really have a hard time even placing it in either of these bins is like what defines a show? Is it characters that you can, watch and enjoy watching? And okay, is it a story that's meant to be told? Oh, okay, we're kind of limping there. We're getting there. It's just that over the course of a 5-minute show, in instances where we have legitimately argued how broken a 15-minute show is,
more show than Diabolical Lovers.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it is. It's not more of a show than Diabolical Lovers, and it kind of hurt me just a second second ago to
so
try
Anthony,
to
are
get
you
that
saying-
out.
It's only 30 minutes long, so that's true.
I am
There's not
saying
much there.
There's not a lot of show.
This show, it's not. It's not even a show. I can't. It's in the trash. It's not even a show.
So you're telling me, Anthony, that this show is worse than Diabolic Lovers?
No, it's not.
Are you telling me you're Diabolic Lovers' #1 fan right now?
Yeah,
Absolutely not. I'm their #1 fan to hate. This show is it's I can't even call it not good. It's not a show. It just doesn't have enough it just doesn't have enough content in it for me to say like anything about it. It wouldn't be brought up in shows that I would say is bad. It wouldn't be brought up in shows that I think people should watch. This is one of those things where it's like you've been on the net and you've been feeling, it's 12:01. It's time to go to sleep. The wind down's happening and you've been browsing the web for like hours. Then you found this. You're like,
No. First of all,
yeah,
I guess sleep at fucking.
I guess
12.
this will go.
Second of
All
all,
I'm saying.
Second of all, the reason I say it's a fine is just because it's not, it's so short. Might as well watch it. It's not bad. It looks nice.
I didn't say it was bad.
It's got sexy girls.
It's definitely not good. I just don't think there's enough content specifically for me to suggest that anybody should pick up this show. So therefore, for me, it's a trash.
Okay. I understand it, Anthony. I understand where you're coming from. And I'm not even going to make the jokingly, but you're wrong. I'm not even going to make that joke. I absolutely understand where you're coming from. And, like, yeah, I feel like it could go either way. I mean, I feel like you're either going to see it as, like, this, like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we all perceive the show very differently. I'm like, DJ and I had, like, similar outputs about it, but I thought of it as kind of like an art showcase in a way.
Yeah, for me, it's like something I could just be like, oh, we're watching videos one day on the couch. I'm like, hey, guys, watch this one. It's super short. It's something I can just show my buds.
Okay.
Yeah, but is it a show, though?
Sure. Diabolic Lovers was a fucking show. Sure, this one is too.
Diabolic Lovers is a show. Well, anything's a show. Pac-Man going from one side to the other. That's a fucking show.
It's more of a show.
It's got a title. It's got episodes.
Okay. Like short videos, Jake. I brought this up. I want to say a few podcasts ago, but things like Bravest Warriors, like that's a show. That's 100% a web show. Like Batman and Spider-Man, that's an old ass show. That's an old ass internet show.
But see, Batman and Spider-Man eventually developed a narrative.
Yes, it did.
Could you imagine
show too?
Could you imagine if the first 5 episodes of Batman and Spider-Man?
Yeah.
There. Ends.
So random.
Would you say it's a show, or would you just say that's a random little animated showcase?
I would just call it an animated showcase. That's a
Bullshit.
good way. Yeah.
How many
That's
5
a good way
episodes
to
of
say it.
nothing does this thing need to be a show? What if there was 37 episodes? Every single one of them is just a girl showing the guys her
It's
pants.
just like this, and there's no narrative building. There's no
but there's 37 episodes.
Of just this.
Yep.
I still wouldn't call it a show. There's
So-
not enough content.
I feel like it's a show.
So,
It doesn't have to have content to be a show.
No, it's not a show. What is your definition of a show?
An episodic, maybe not even episodic, something that is media that is not a movie.
I
disagree with that.
Yeah. If it's not like length long enough to be a short film, then it's a show. So it's just a little showcase, little show. You said it was an animated showcase. What's the first 4 letters of showcase, Anthony?
A show,
my
but
God,
show. A showcase is different because you're as Jake was kind of saying, this is literally what you're doing is you're presenting this guy's art style and like showing it in a fashion that's going to like look for praise almost. I know that's not his goal, but like
That's what shows do. It's a fucking show.
well, I mean,
I won't call it a show. You can't make me.
to kind of like step away from the what makes a show thing. Anthony brought up like what I said earlier about the testament to this guy's art. The number one purpose for most anime, and this goes for like a vast majority of anime, is to sell the source material. Like, to advertise the source material. And I feel like this anime does it in its purest form.
Hella.
Where it definitely advertises, like, again, may not be a show, but I believe it succeeds in doing what the vast majority of anime aim to do. And
my argument... Keep going, Jake.
No, I was just going to say.
My argument is that there's no, like, hard definition of what a show is. So if it wants to be a fucking show, why not? Let it be a show, you know? There's no fucking show... There's no show police telling it can't be a show. Unless Anthony is the show police.
I'm not the show police. I'm not the show police. I suppose the biggest reason why it like that's a very pivotal point for me, it's because, I mean, all things considered, like, think about the other shows that we've been, or the other anime that we've been...
They're shitty. They're usually bad, Anthony.
Okay, so I guess, like, should this content be even, like, should you put this content up against the other animes that we've been watching? Because I personally feel like it's just so different that, like, that's why I'm having a hard time, like putting it in, you know, and wrapping it in with a lot of these other garbage shows. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad, but like in that sense, like what else can we, like, what else should we be able to gauge against all of these other shows that we've reviewed?
Well, I'd rather watch this show. How many times do I have to watch it to equal the runtime of Handshakers?
Well,
minutes, so 25 by 12 is...
You'd have to watch the entirety of the show 12 times.
I'd rather watch the entirety of this show 12 times through than watch Handshakers one time. So it's better than Handshakers.
But here's the thing, though. I don't disagree with that, but I argue that it's a different content. Like, it doesn't, like, it should be rated in the short film section of anime versus the show section of anime. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay, I get that. So if we separated it to that, then Anthony, would that change your rating of it? If it were to be rated as a short, like, OVA series over a actual series, would you then alter what you rated that show, or would it stay the same?
I suppose that if that were the case, then yes, I would change. Yeah, I would probably put it, you know, in the sense that the art style is pretty good, the content is very niche. I would put it in the recycle bin.
See, I definitely don't think it should go, like, if we had a power ranking list, this one probably wouldn't be on the list, just because it's, you know, it's so different. But I can confidently tell you that I enjoyed it more than Handshakers. I also have a sneaking suspicion if they extended it out to be like as long as Handshakers, it'd probably be better. Just from what they did with those 30 minutes, I can tell that they were going to nail it.
I was going to say 5 minutes, and then I realized you're talking about the whole series.
Yeah, not hard to do. Also, to be better than that fucking show.
We watched My Girlfriend Is a Show Bitch, which is like similar. I would say that this is it follows like that kind of similar genre
of just like episodic adventures.
Exactly. So like in that sense, yeah, if it followed something along those lines and kept the same art style and like kept the same characters, yeah, I'd be more apt to say this is probably much better than most of the anime that we watched. But because it's just so different, like we were kind of saying.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. But it's a show, Anthony.
All right. Well, to move on from this, and I just want to say one last thing about it. So I kind of had this idea, like, while you guys were discussing what makes a show, but doesn't it feel like a lot of these could be like a reoccurring gag in like a clip show type show?
Yeah.
Where like
it just cuts to this.
Yeah, like where it will like have like a like a one anime thing, and then it will cut, and then it's one of these sequences, and then it cuts to a different like anime joke, kind of like a Robot Chicken thing. But with anime.
I can see that. Yeah.
I can definitely see that part of that. Okay, so that's pretty much we talked pretty. I think we talked longer than the show.
Yeah, way too long.
We talked about that show longer than the entire series. That's a first, because normally we don't even get close. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to our seasonal anime, which has been Zombieland Saga. And I did this backwards. I really should have had DJ intro the other anime and had Anthony do Zombieland Saga, but I've made my bed, so now I have to sleep in it. So DJ, what's Zombieland Saga about?
Welcome to Zombieland, land. In the world of zombies, only the strong survive. Evil zombies have corrupted the earth, and now it was up to you to survive. It's a show about pop idol princesses that have been resurrected as zombies.
Thank you.
Some would say genius, others would say not PC things, but that's okay.
I feel like I did a good job in that description.
I like the movie.
Short, sweet, and to the short, sweet, to the point. I like it.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about episodes. This is 8 and 9, right?
Yep.
Yes, we're going to be talking about episodes 8 and 9 of Zombieland Saga. If you don't want to be spoiled for those two episodes, I suggest you jump to the time posted above. Okay, so episode 8. These are some story, character-driven episodes. These two. So
yes, they are very good.
Let's go ahead and let's start with episode 8, where we focus on Lily. And I will tell you now, I was not expecting to like this episode. I was like,
oh, me either.
I'm like, out of all these characters, we're going to focus on Lily first? Well, fuck it. I guess I'll watch it because we're watching the show and I like it. Yep. And, oh my God, was I pleasantly surprised with this episode.
I like the way that they tied into it. All things considered, the guy that later is... did you do the spoiler thing already?
I already did.
Okay, just making sure. The guy that was supposed to be her dad is a fucking giant of a man. I'm just saying, I've been to Japan. I didn't see anybody look that big.
Anthony, that's just a regular-sized dude. He's American. He's over there now.
Yeah, apparently. But, I 100% agree. I didn't think that I was going to be as invested, is the word that I would use. That's because I think that this show does a pretty good job of keeping my interest, but, showing the content like how it did in this episode specifically. Yeah, I was feeling some shit. I was feeling kind of sad.
Yeah, I want to point out right here. This is something that we talked about. We talked about it with Jeff and we talked about it with Kobe. Is that we wanted to see them interact with people or have people recognize them. And this episode kicks it off strong with such a strong connection of father and child. Oh, speaking of that, we found out Lily's also trans, which is cool.
Oh boy,
is she really?
Yeah. Did you not get that?
I didn't get that. I thought that.
Yeah. So her and Sakura are talking, and Sakura at the end of Lily's story, where she says that she has a heart attack. Sakura
tells her name.
Yeah. Sakura goes, why were you using this? Who was this guy that you were talking about? And she goes, oh, that's me. That was my name. But I'm Lily now. And then they're like, what? And that's why Junko's all embarrassed, too, because Saki is making fun of Lily for having different plumbing.
Is that... holy shit, I didn't pick that up at all. I thought that Lily... Yeah, I thought that Lily was her stage name.
No, she's trans. That's how come she's talking about growing facial hair. And
yeah, she's plucking it.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she's trans.
It doesn't change my opinion of the show. I like it a lot.
Oh, yeah. I do. I wouldn't have expected him to. It's definitely just one of those ones where it's like, oh, that's pretty neat that they threw that in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we then let's talk about the ending performance of this episode.
Oh, so good.
What's the title of the song? To like.
Oh gosh, what is it?
To you, my sweet, or what is it?
Yeah, something like that. Like I will always be with you.
To my dearest.
Like my dearest, that's what it is.
So yeah, To My Dearest was really good. I thought the animation was spot on.
That's what I needed.
It was, yeah. So this is only confirming my belief that any CGI performance that we see, we will see again.
Yeah,
but I do not think we will see a To My Dearest reprise anytime soon. And I don't, because of it getting its own animation, its own outfits, and everything like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they gave Saki twin tails, so you know the animators know what I know.
It's beautiful.
Well, of course they know what you know, because the next episode is fucking all about her, so...
All about Best Girl.
Made the Pappy cry.
Oh, he did? Okay, Pappy did cry, which kind of...
Yep.
Like, Anthony, you said you felt some stuff there, like, a little bit. And
yeah,
I'll admit right there, too. I got a little... Like, not, I wouldn't say
sentimental. Yeah,
yeah, I got a little sentimental. I wasn't gonna say teary-eyed, but yeah, definitely a little like, oh, that's sad.
Reminded me of Talladega Nights when Ricky Bobby just wants his dad to come watch him race.
And DJ's redneck leaked out a little bit. We gotta plug that back in.
You forgot to talk about how she died.
Oh yeah, you want to tell us how she died?
Heart attack.
Yes, and that's why her heart's always out. Also,
she saw her crusty little beard hair and died of a mental heart attack shock.
They were talking about it, and I guess the translations don't really do it accurately. But I was looking it through a thread, and they were saying that it was a mixture of the shock and the overwork that caused the heart attack.
Right.
It wasn't like this comedic, oh my god, heart attack. It was like a shock and like...
She's just too much on the grind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to earn that bread.
I'd say that there's a scene where she's sitting on the couch with her dad, and she's got the artist did a pretty good job of how they planned that concept. Is like she's got bags under her eyes. She's super tired when she's talking to her dad, but her dad's just focused right on the TV. Kind of a big deal. Mm-hmm. So I do like that. So I 100% agree. With that statement.
And I also forgot to mention this when I said the trans thing. But Lily, it's also hinted. It wasn't like something that they just sprung up. It was hinted pretty early on, like episode 3. People were sharing screenshots. When they talk about going to the hot springs, Lily's the only one not excited. In fact, she's like scared.
Ooh.
And when they're practicing one time, Lily is reading someone goes, you know what? This episode explains this screenshot that's been plaguing me since like Lily's first appearance. And it's in their practice, and it's when no one's practicing because they haven't decided they're going to be idols yet. And Lily's reading a magazine about giant construction machines. And someone's like, oh, just because she was a boy, she likes those machines. And someone went, look at this scene during the not montage, but like the collage of pictures during the To My Dearest performance, where it's like all the memories of Lily and her dad. They're in they're in like a construction machine expo.
Yeah.
And for one. And so they're like, oh, they're like the fucking small details in this show like are pretty awesome.
Yeah, I do agree. I agree. It's a smart show.
And we kind of rated this with Kobe with the last performances, but this performance, To My Dearest, did you like song and performance? Would you watch that again?
Would I watch the song again? Yeah, I would. The song, absolutely, yeah, it's very good.
DJ? Me for DJ? For me, yes.
I'm the rare one that likes the original. Like, you guys don't like the original song, right?
I'm okay with it.
The one that was repeated it's been repeated many times.
Yeah. I
don't mind it.
I prefer the lightning cover of it, like the...
I like that one.
I like that one. All right, so we then move on to the next episode, and it follows the trend of character focus, and we focus on Best Girl Saki. And there's some pretty good highlights in there, like we get a legendary Tai Yamada biting somebody again, which she hasn't done that in a while.
Just classic. Classic Tai.
I really like this episode because it, like, I feel really biased here because I say Saki's my favorite, so I feel like anything I say really doesn't carry any weight. But I liked just the gags, the way that you really felt like other than her saying it and being like a bully. Like, I kind of almost thought that there would be a twist with Saki's character that she wasn't like a biker gang leader, because I thought she would just be like a person who watched like biker gang movies all the time. Mm-hmm, but this episode really highlighted that she is not only a like that biker gang tough guy person that she is, but she also is that leadership role that she also that she volunteered herself for with Franshishu. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I meant to say this with Lily's character too, is that I liked Lily's character so much more after her episode, and with Saki's character, I just loved her more too. Like, I think the character growth in these episodes have been great, and I really enjoyed all of this episode.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that the depth of their characters grow immensely, and I think that it does. That's something that I have always said makes a really strong, really strong show is the character development, and I do agree. I do like their characters just that much more. It helps out quite a bit. Not to say that I didn't. Yeah, not to say that I didn't like it before.
Mm-hmm. I like what they're doing with the backstories of each girl, but I hope they don't do all of them in a row. That'll get a little old, formulaic a little bit. Maybe they'll do a couple and then do a regular episode of just all of them, one of the original 3 episodes or however many, 5 I think.
Yeah.
They'll do one like the other episodes, and then they'll go back to the backstories, something like that. I liked how they tied in the backstory with the performance, 2 episodes ago or 3, the lightning one, mm-hmm. And they're moving a little bit away from that with this one. This one felt like it was more focused on the past than the current time.
I would agree.
But other than that, it was all right.
I would definitely say that this was definitely. I feel like a lot more scenes were in the past compared to the other ones. Lily was at least telling her story. For this one, it seemed like a lot of Saki just remembering.
Right.
Yeah. Just something I continue to love is the fans that they gained at the rock concert are still there.
Yeah, they're the OG.
And they talk about how all the weird fans that they're gathering is Franshishu's style of just anybody can be a fan of them. Continuing on with this episode, though, we talked about how Lily died. We also find out how Saki died, and Saki died in a game of chicken, where she didn't chicken out and drove off a cliff.
It's classic her.
Classic her.
Classic.
Yeah, she does it again. She drives off the cliff again. Yep. But she's a zombie this time, so she's like, "Yep, piece of cake."
I like how on face value, taking most of these girls' death on face value is really comedic, in the sense that it's Lily died of a heart attack because she saw hair on her chin.
Brain
no, right, and shit like that. Not Junko, but shit. Who was struck by lightning? I was struck by lightning.
To be honest,
I guess that's not funny, but.
You're right. There is some comedic effect to them. It's oh, well, Saki died. If you heard about your friend, if you were in a biker gang and your boss died during a race like that, you'd be like, well, that's sad. But to us, it's fucking hilarious because it's she fucking drove off a cliff. had a heart attack. The only one that has like no comedic thing to it is Junko's, just because Junko was on a plane and it crashed on her first big show. And it was like, that's just sad. Junko's didn't have any comedic effect to it.
And I mean, like, I know that they haven't gone over Sakura's like death yet, but that's like the dramatic irony of it. We saw that. Uh-huh. We saw her death happen. So my prediction is that they'll, like DJ was saying, it's going to get a little repetitive, but we already saw that we're going to get one more. And that's what is her name?
Yugiri.
She's coming up next, and then we get. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you have your idea here, because mine's almost a counterpoint.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have Yugiri's, and then I'm predicting that Sakura's will be 11 and 12. Like, that's where we'll really find out what's going on, with the zombies and everything else. So.
Okay. I don't know if that will be a Yugiri episode.
Ooh, okay.
Because the show is called Zombieland Saga without zombie or something like that. The next episode.
It's like no Zombieland Saga without zombies or something like that.
Yeah. So I think I think it's going to be a episode adventure for the girls as a cast.
That'd be
maybe
cool.
With a sprinkle of Yugiri backstory where it's like they're stuck there and then they sitting around because it looks like they almost get stuck in like snow.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're sitting there and they go, Yugiri, how was it like in your time? She goes, well, I was a prostitute and I got my throat slit. And they're like, oh, sad.
Oh, that's oh, maybe we shouldn't show that one. Huh?
Okay, maybe I won't talk to her anymore.
Yeah.
She's the like kimono one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I like her. She's my favorite one.
See, now, here's a thing. Here's a fun fact for you guys that I saw, I think, on Twitter this week, is the legendary Tai Yamada is voiced by the original voice actress for Sailor Moon.
That's cool.
What?
So that makes me think, Anthony, that episode 12 may be about Sakura, but episode 11, I think, belongs to legendary Tai Yamada.
Legendary Tai Yamada.
Why would she have a voice actor?
That's very true, yeah. That is very true.
I was seeing something... People are like, one of the biggest speculation points is like why she's more of a zombie and what they're going to do with her character and stuff like that.
What if she, like, they talk about, like, how they know nothing about Tai, and she's like, "Rrr, rrr," and then it's, like, flashback, and she's like, well, I'm Tai Yamada.
A lot of people think, is his name Kotaro?
Uh-huh.
Kotaro, yeah.
Like, brought her back for a different reason. Like, it's part of his grand plan. Because, like, why would you bring her back as like, in that state, to be performing a fucking idol group? So they think it's for some other reason. It's part of his grand plan. The super genius Kotaro plan.
Speaking of her in, like, performances and stuff, I like in the Sake episode performance that they just gave her, like, the fucking, like, mask.
She's got a mask.
Oh, so we didn't talk about that. What did you guys think of the performance in episode 9?
It's good. It was good. I loved right before it, Kataro's sitting in the van and he's like, oh yeah, music on.
Yeah, music, come on.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. I love it. It was good. I liked that song.
I like the outfits. I like the song a lot. I think it might be my second favorite song.
Okay.
My first favorite song is the Junko I, like, duet one.
Yeah, that one's good.
And so I think it might be this one, then To My Dearest, and then to the original. I do not hate the songs. I do not hold the same hatred that Kobe has for that first song.
I like them all. I don't like the CGI still.
Uh-huh.
I'm not getting used to it.
Well, I mean, we didn't get CGI this episode.
Yeah.
We haven't had CGI.
Yeah, these both of them. Yeah, I was pretty excited for that. That to me was a thumbs up in the correct direction. So,
do you think the CGI the ones that they're going to repeat?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's like if we see them again, they will be CGI.
Well, so then, okay. That makes sense.
Well, like for shows like Love Live, because people were complaining about this in the threads, where like, oh, the CGI is bugging me, and then fucking here come all these like idol anime like experts who have been talking to each other for years because no one watches idol anime, and so they're just like, oh, wait a minute, like people are watching idol anime, time to drop some knowledge, and so they're like, well, you see, Love Live actually all the performances done by the main cast are always CG because they reuse those costumes all the time, so the models get reused. The cool part is the things that are never CG'd are one-time performances or any of the rivals because they all wear different costumes all the time. And I'm like, oh, that's really neat. Why'd this guy watch every single episode of Love Live?
I just don't see why they don't animate them like normally animate them all. But I guess it's a time save.
Probably lots of movements, I guess. Yeah.
But in my opinion, it's like, wouldn't it take you just as long to animate like a normal scene, like
that are a fight scene?
It's the same amount of drawing, you know.
Well, the way I see it for the animation wise is those performances are same dance moves, same costumes. So I think they just use the same animation, just throw it over a different backdrop.
Yeah, I mean that just seems, I don't know, it seems lazy a little bit.
I mean, I imagine it probably is, but at that point, you don't I thought that I guess I will take the bad CG from the first from the those three episodes if I get the fluid rap battle from episode 2, if I get the way that these past 2 episodes have been animated.
Yeah.
I will if I
get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I will
I just don't think I just don't see why they wouldn't have enough time to animate it. It's like you animate just as complex things. Why not animate the performance? You know, it's like I just don't get it. Well, I get what you're saying, why it's a time save, but I don't get why it's a time save.
Well, I mean, I guess there's always been shortcuts that animations have done, like the Dragon Ball Z shortcut that got popularized was the lines signify showing the hands, where they don't have to really animate the arms or animate the hand, they just have to animate the 3 frames of the hands.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it looks like they're fighting at super fast speeds, and they just show that and have dialogue talk over it, and it was like, well, there you go. There's 30 seconds of animation that we don't have to animate for. And so I feel like the bad CG has just been possibly the most cost-effective way to do an animation shortcut, and that's how come it's the most noticeable. Because it's more.
Do you think it would look worse if they animated it normally once and then cropped it into a different background?
I think so. I don't know how 2D animation works, but I think it would look maybe they just the background is the immediate background is still the original background, and it's the rest of the background's the new one.
They couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because they'd still have to paint every frame.
Yeah.
Because when the girls move, they'd have to paint where they just were. They can't key it out like they can in 3D.
Yeah. So, I think it's easier. I don't know why they do it. It could be cheaper, but...
It's faster, certainly.
It's faster,
so that's probably why.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to say about... Oh, well... episode design performance. Would you watch or listen to that again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, 3 years on that one. Okay. Anything else you guys want to say about Zombieland Saga? Anthony, I'll let you do your thing after the thing. DJ, anything?
No, I'm good.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and end spoilers now. Welcome back. Welcome back. If you skipped the spoiler section for Zombieland Saga, Anthony has something he'd like to say.
If you're not watching it, go watch it right now. No matter what you're doing, no matter what time of day or night, Should be watching it with us. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good.
It's a pretty good. A good sell, Anthony. Good job.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to say, if you're not watching it with us, go ahead and start watching it with us right now. You know, if you're not watching it with us...
Stop what you're doing and watch it right now.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
You guys are stealing my thing.
It's hard for me not to now. Like after I go, welcome back from the spoiler section. We're watching Zombieland Saga. If you're not watching it, I want to say, if you're not watching it, you should be. Blah blah blah. That wraps up. That wraps up the bad anime for the season, guys. Like we are done with the bad anime for the fall season. We got to watch our good anime. Next podcast.
Already?
Yeah, already.
Damn, baby.
It's the having the guests that have really been speeding it up. Like I feel like we had Casey, aka Viking Lightning, on Angels of Death. We had Kobe and Jeff from the Nerd Blaze with Magical Girl Sight and Bloody Vores respectively, and then we had this.
I call them K and G.
K and G.
God, I just remembered Bloody Vores.
Just remembered. I had to edit that podcast, and the entire time I'm like, I forgot. I'm like, oh my god, this show's bad. So so we get to watch our good anime, and that is A Place Further Than the Universe. That kind of stole the show. Was that 2 seasons ago? Or
Yep. Yeah.
It was kind of like
yes,
a sleeper hit, and it's an anime that has a scene in it. No, that was like a year ago, because I remember because I lived in Reno when I showed you guys the scene. There's a scene in it of a girl saying, "I'm coming, penguins! I'm coming!" and she runs and she smacks her foot into a wall, and I was like, this is DJ. If we told him we were going to Antarctica.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Penguins. I like penguins a lot. That's the joke there.
Yeah, and so I was like, so there we go. It's about girls going to Antarctica, and definitely, like, no one thought it was going to be as good as it was, and it really took over. So I'm excited to watch it. And
I'm excited to watch it too.
I heard you had me at penguins.
Huh? I had you at penguins?
Yeah, penguins.
And hopefully we will have our buddy Garrison, who was on the Citrus podcast with us, to talk about it. And then we also will be talking about episodes. Huh?
Big GB.
Big GB. And we will also be talking about episodes 10 and 11 of Zombieland Saga. I will go ahead and I will put a bunch of links down in the description for all of our guests that we've had this season. And Anthony, how about you tell them where they can find us?
You can find us down in the links below to our Twitter handles. And we also release a podcast every 2 weeks. We'd love to have you subscribe and comment on a bad show at this point. If you got a bad show you think we should watch, let us have it. I gladly will call it trash for you.
Please, because I am running out of bad shows.
He's running out, Anthony. You hear that? We're almost free. We're almost free, Anthony. You hear that?
Just on you, DJ.
There's no
with
rules.
every season, a new bad anime is born.
Jokes on you, DJ. Handshaker Season 2.
Handshaker Season 2.
Oh gosh, that's bad for
I
that's
still
bad
have
news.
Giant Boss Lovers Season 2 in my pocket. I can whip
Don't
that
you
out whenever
fuck
I want.
me. Don't you fuck with me, Jake.
All right, thank you again for listening, and I hope you have a great day. I don't ever know how to sign out of this podcast anymore. I used to, but now I don't.
Bye-bye, sweet babies. Bye-bye.
I'll see you later, girl. Do you think anyone's ever killed another human with a fidget spinner before?